Well, welcome to another episode of the Competition Timeout. I am your host, Nando, and welcome back. We're back. It's Monday. What a weekend, like I told you it would be, guys. What a weekend. The tournament, sports in general. Great time of the year. Um, yeah, before we get going with everything, we got our recap today. Um, like I said before, in episodes before, if you like what you're hearing, please like, subscribe, share. Be really grateful. If you like any of the other shows we do, like Puck Talk or the Nando Rome Show, like, subscribe, share those. All right. It's Monday. We have had a weekend of tournament play. The Sweet 16 in the men's is set. And what a weekend it was. Obviously, we talked about Friday about the big win by Oakland. They played Saturday and they were not able to advance any further. They lose to a number 11 NC State, who pulled off an upset over a 60 Texas Tech. NC State beats Oakland 79-73. Uh, Honestly, Friday, we didn't talk about it, but Friday some games went down. Number 12, James Madison beat number 5 Wisconsin. 9 Texas A&M beat number 8 Nebraska, which set up, James Madison against Duke. Duke took care of business in that game. Uh, they'll play Houston, number 1 seed in the South region, who had a overtime thriller against Texas A&M last night, but they were able to survive and advance. They play Duke on Friday. NC State will play Marquette. So the 1 and 2 seed in the South have moved on. We got the 4th and the 11th as well there. In the East, UConn moves forward. They beat Northwestern in the second round yesterday, very convincingly. They will play number 5 San Diego State in the Sweet 16. Illinois and Iowa State will play each other. So uh, 3 and a 2, and then the 1 and a 5 there. Number 4 Auburn did lose to Yale, and then Yale lost to San Diego State. So that's the matchups there. In the West, number 1 North Carolina had what seemed like a tough matchup against Sparty, but they took care of business. They are now going to face Alabama, number 4 Alabama. That's going to be uh, really should be good. Uh, Down in that West region, number 2 Arizona beats Dayton, and Baylor loses to Clemson. So Arizona will play Clemson there at 2 and a 6. Tennessee hasn't taken care of business. They beat St. Peter's. They beat Texas in a game that became closer at the end than it was at the beginning, honestly. They will take on number 3 Creighton, so 2 and a 3 there. And Purdue will face Gonzaga, who beat number 4 Kansas uh, very handily, if I must say. So that is your Sweet 16 in the men's. There was some great action, telling you. Some great action is nothing better than this time of the year, for sure. The women's tournament does continue today. Their second round does continue today, starting at 2 p.m. Notre Dame is hosting Ole Miss. That's number 2 Notre Dame. Number 3 NC State is hosting number 6 Tennessee. Uh, Number 3 UConn's hosting Syracuse. A little old Big East action. Indiana, Oklahoma, Iowa, West Virginia, UCLA, Creighton, USC, Kansas, Gonzaga, Utah. That's the women's slate today, starting at 2 p.m. all the way up to 10:30. Starts there. It was a good weekend for the women's as well. South Carolina continues their undefeated season. They have gone back to back, two back to back Sweet 16s undefeated. So that's cool to see. LSU got a win after they looked very rough until the third quarter. They were down at half. They didn't look themselves. And they might have underestimated uh, Middle Tennessee State, and but they got it together. Kim Mulkey took made a decision at least to start most of the third. Haley Van Liff, the star point guard, was benched for most of the third quarter. And during that benching is when LSU was able to not only tie the game, but take over the lead, and they were able to keep it. So, I mean, so far, 2 games, she's not been having the best tournament. She could be pressing those girls, sorry, but also be underestimating some of these teams, if I may say so myself. It just kind of seemed like they felt like they were going to get the win possibly, and not even, you know, I wouldn't say not care, but yeah. Anyway, shout out to Middle Tennessee State, who gave their all there this weekend. But as far as that bracket goes, like I said, we still have second round action to to play. Obviously, Iowa wins, they will play Colorado. If UCLA or Creighton wins, they'll play LSU. That's all in the Regional 2 in Albany. South Carolina's waiting for the winner of Indiana and Oklahoma. Oregon State, number 3, waiting for the winner of Notre Dame, Ole Miss. Number 1, Texas, waiting for the winner of Gonzaga, Utah. Stanford, who won in a thriller last night in overtime. Cameron Brink fouls out. They'll wait for the winner of NC State, Tennessee. Duke, number 7 seed, who beat Ohio State by 12, is waiting for the winner of UConn, Syracuse. And number 5, Baylor, is waiting for the winner of USC, Kansas. So that'll be fun to see there. So, yeah, a lot of action. So keep watching, honestly. All right. We switch over to the NBA. Not a lot of news. Um, mm, Not a lot of news really to talk about in the NBA. Just a battle for seeding. Honestly, this is the updated standings as we sit here with about, I want to say, like maybe 15 games ago for most teams, something like that. Uh, about in the East, obviously Boston has already clinched the division. The Boston's the number 1 seed. More than likely will be the number 1 seed. Milwaukee's 11 back. I don't see them falling. Boston's on a 9-game win streak. Milwaukee's second in the East, followed by the Cavaliers, who are 3 back of the Bucks. And then in fourth is the New York Knicks, who are half game back of the Cavaliers for third. The Magic and the Pacers round out the top 6. And then the play-in spots, we have the Heat, the Sixers, the Bulls, the Hawks, with Brooklyn 4.5 games or so back, 5.5. So, yeah, that part might be set. In the West, the Nuggets have the number 1 seed, only a half game back of the Thunder, and behind them, a game back of Denver for the first spot is Minnesota. In fourth for the Clippers, Pelicans, and Suns. Tight race for that 6th seed between the Suns and the Kings. The Kings are only a half game back of the Suns for the 6th seed. And so are the Mavericks. Kings and Mavericks are tied. But right now the Kings have the edge, so they're the 7th seed. The 8th seed is the Mavericks, the Lakers, and the Warriors, who hold a 1 game lead on the Warriors for that final seed. So everything will start to tighten up in the NBA as the season comes to a end here coming up. The NFL, the owners' meetings have started. The owners' pictures out there. Go on the internet, you can find it. Some coaches are missing. The big news from the weekend was the Chiefs. They send Jerry Sneed to the Titans, who immediately gave him a big contract. Uh, so that was the big news. The NFL is also voting on Texas ownership change. I guess there's going to be the ownership change in the background that has been happening there. The also the other thing that happened is that Tomlin said that Russell Wilson is in pole position to be QB1. So not doesn't take a genius to know that one, honestly. But yeah. In the MLB, before we wrap up, no, I haven't seen no extra news on the Shohei situation. He is set to speak today. Uh, he is set to speak today to the media at some point. Obviously, the Dodgers are back in LA, obviously after the trip to Korea. So he is set to speak. MLB is um, going to investigate the big theft that Otani's people are alleging. So that's what their MLB is going to investigate. So we'll see what comes from that. As of right now, I haven't seen any further details, just a lot of speculation on the internet and internet reporters, but we know what that means. And, we take that, we read it, but keep it in the back, but we don't run with that. But yeah. Anyways, that was it for your Monday edition of the Competition Timeout. Thank you once again for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.